Back to the channel, guys. Today, obviously, we've got Leicester City versus Arsenal in the Premier League. Obviously, a 12:30 kickoff very, very soon. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. I always feel they're fairly evenly matched these days at Leicester and Arsenal. No disrespect to Arsenal, of course. Arsenal are a much bigger club, but I do think Leicester have really come on leaps and bounds since winning the Premier League, and they're always there or thereabouts in terms of qualifying for Europe. And I think they have finished above Arsenal at least over the last 3 seasons. So they're doing pretty well. Both of them are fixed perfectly in the table. They both won 9 games. They both won 4. They've both drawn 2. They've lost 3, and both sitting on 14 points. Leicester are just above Arsenal in 9th place by a 3-goal difference. So a win here today from either of these sides will take them actually into the top 4. Obviously, everybody else is going to have to play games, but it would take them into the it wouldn't. It would take him to 5th, just behind West Ham in 4th. Unless obviously Leicester win 7-0 and Arsenal win 10-0, then yeah, they can go into the top 4. But yeah, fair play to them. I mean, Leicester, as I said, they're a bit of a weird team. They are unbeaten recently. Remember beating Crystal Palace, Man United, Spartak Moscow, Brentford, and obviously most recently drew to Brighton. I always do find them fairly hot and cold, but Arsenal, fair play to them. They're unbeaten in, I think, 8 games. They're doing really, really well. Obviously beating Spurs that 3-1, but then drawing to Brighton and Crystal Palace, which was pretty disappointing, I suppose, if you look back on it. However, did get a massive win against Aston Villa and obviously Leeds in the League Cup, set them to the quarterfinals. So things are sort of looking up for Arsenal, but I think this is a good test to see where Arsenal are at now. They've sort of played, obviously beating Spurs was a a good game. However, they went up against Brighton, they went against Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, and no disrespect for them, apart from Aston Villa, but they kind of failed out there a bit. This is a good side, this Leicester team, so it'll be interesting to see how they come up against them. And yeah, I'm interested to see how it all sort of pans out here this afternoon. I'm going to go through the team lineups quickly now. As I said, it is going to be Schmeichel in goal for Leicester, Amatore, Evans, Soyuncu at the back. In the midfield is Konskande, Tielemans, Sorme, Thomas, and up top is Maddison, Iheanacho and Vardy. Of course, Vardy loves a goal against Arsenal. And Maddison apparently was pretty close to signing for Arsenal in the summer as well, so there might be a bit of a heated debate going on there. As for the Arsenal side, as I say, now at the start of the season we've seen Arsenal, they didn't have all their players back fit, they had a lot of injuries, etc. But there is no excuses now, really. I think Tierney's out, actually, which is a big miss. But it's Ramsdale in goal, Tavares, Gabriel, White, and Tommy Wasu at the back. In the midfield is Smith Rowe, Lokonga, Partey, and Saka. And obviously up top is Lacazette and Aubameyang. I might be fairly ignorant. I don't know who Lokonga is, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he'll put in a decent performance. Whereas they've got the Odegaard, Martinelli, Pepe, all on the bench as well that can come into the team. So they do have a fairly strong side, Arsenal, and it'll be a big test. As I said, it's going to be a big test for them here this afternoon, and it will really show them where they're at. They haven't got that European distraction this year, so winning these games in the Premier League are absolutely paramount for them and their success this season if they want to get back into the European competitions. And I feel the Arsenal players don't want to, the Arsenal fans don't want to be going into any old European competition. They don't want to go into the Europa Conference League like Spurs. They want to be trying to at least get into the Europa League, or if not better, the Champions League. Of course, I always do feel Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea are fixed top 3. There's always that one place up for grabs. That could either go to Manchester United, doesn't really look possible unless they change the manager. Could go to West Ham, who are in really, really good form. Leicester are in and around there. Spurs are always going to be in and around there. And of course, Arsenal as well. So, it could be a possibility. So far this season, we'll see what happens. But this is a big test for them. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get straight into the live stream. Of course, guys, this is PES gameplay, me acting out the game here live for you. And yeah, there'll be commentary over in the background with a live score as well. But just to say it to you guys, it's PES gameplay with live commentary and a live score. Guys, please do drop a like button and subscribe to the channel for more Premier League live streams. And I'll see you all in a minute. button and subscribe to the channel for more Premier League live streams.
Have failed to win the league game preceding Halloween for the past 3 years. Mikel Arteta names an unchanged starting 11 to the side that overcame Aston Villa by 3-1 last Friday. So the lineups in full. For Leicester, it's Schmeichel in goal. A back three of Soyuncu, Evans and Amati. Thomas and Castagna are the wing-backs with Samare, Tielemans and Maddison in the middle. Vardy and Iheanacho lead the line. For Arsenal, it's Ramsdale in goal. Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tavares in defence. Partey and Lokonga are the holding midfielders, with Saka, Lacazette and Smith Rowe playing behind lone striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Not long until kick-off for this Premier League clash between Leicester and Arsenal. A win today could see the Foxes propel themselves into the top 5. However, defensively they have been poor this campaign, with their only league clean sheet of the season occurring on the opening day against Wolves. One change is made to the side that overcame Brentford last weekend, as Luke Thomas replaces the injured Ricardo Pereira. Arsenal could make it 3 consecutive victories at Leicester for the first time since 1925, with 3 points today. There will be an air of caution around the side though, as the Gunners have failed to win the league game preceding Halloween for the past 3 years. Mikel Arteta names an unchanged starting 11 to the side that overcame Aston Villa by 3-1 last Friday. So the lineups in full. For Leicester, it's Schmeichel in goal. A back three of Soyuncu, Evans and Amati. Thomas and Castagna are the wing-backs with Samare, Tielemans and Maddison in the middle. Vardy and Iheanacho lead the line. For Arsenal, it's Ramsdale in goal. Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tavares in defence. Partey and Lokonga are the holding midfielders, with Saka, Lacazette and Smith Rowe playing behind lone striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Not long until kick-off for this Premier League clash between Leicester and Arsenal. A win today could see the Foxes propel themselves into the top 5. However, we'll leave that there because we're now underway for this Premier League clash between Leicester City and Arsenal. Leicester in their usual home kit of the blue shirts and white shorts, playing from left to right. Arsenal in their away sort of light yellow number, playing from right to left. It's myself, William Maxwell, and Max Hunter taking you through this one. And it's likely going to be quite a tight affair. Both sides, a win today could see them propel themselves into the top 5, arguably the top 4, I should say, if we've got a large swing in goals. How do you see this game going?
I think it's going to be a really good game, really exciting. Lots going on, plenty of goal. I think it should be entertaining. Both teams will want to win. And yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a good game.
Bukayo Saka is the player in possession straight away, and he marauds into the area. Plays a 1-2 Lacazette. Early opportunity. It's across the face, and it's almost put into the back of his own net by Daniel Amati. What a start that is in under a minute from Arsenal. It's great dribbling by Bukayo Saka to get away from Thomas and Maddison. Lovely 1-2 between him and Lacazette. And his initial effort, I think, is blocked by the feet of Johnny Evans, and it falls into the path of Daniel Amati. I'm not really sure what the Ghanaian's trying to do there. He almost puts it in the back of his own net.
Yeah, he had no idea. He put his arms out to say to his Leicester teammates, I think it was Thomas and Soyuncu over there. Saka, he's just he's good with the ball, gets his head down. A great ball carry. Here he is again, he's got it and shielding it off. He's Arsenal, embarrassingly, he's Arsenal's best player, given the other players up front with them.
Yes, as Lacazette finds Thomas Partey inside his own half in a bright start from the Gunners in this opening minute and a half of this game. We'll just run you through the lineups if you did miss them in the earlier preamble. For Leicester, it is Schmeichel in goal, the back three of Soyuncu, Evans and Amati. Thomas and Castagna are the wing-backs with Samare and Tielemans in the middle of the midfield. Maddison as the attacking midfielder with Vardy and Iheanacho up top. For Arsenal, it's Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tavares in defence. Partey and Lokonga, the holding midfielders, with Saka, Lacazette and Smith Rowe playing behind lone striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, as Gabriel goes back towards Ramsdale, who take no chances under pressure from Jamie Vardy. The clearance goes as far as Soyuncu. Samare holds off Lacazette, and then has Samare been caught by Lokonga? No, says the referee. Today's Michael Oliver. Ben White will bring this ball forward for the Gunners. Under no real pressure from a Leicester player, eventually finds Aubameyang on the left-hand side. He'll get towards the byline, cross in, blocks by Amati. It'll be the first corner kick of the game. Really bright and quick start from the Gunners so far.
Yeah, they're setting their stall out. They want to get a goal early, silence the crowd. We know the Leicester crowd can be quite influential on the team, but just looking at, I think it was a foul there. He who was late was Lukonga on that. Oliver's giving it a go. He's Samari's still down. He's getting treatment now, so pause and play. I think Lukonga's got away with that one.
Yes,
but it kind of was there. It was if you're looking from the referee's point of view, Romani, he let it run. He didn't have it in his full controls, a couple of yard or two ahead of him. So Lukonga could go get that, but he's on his follow through. He has caught Romani.
Yeah, Samari there in a little bit of bother, being dealt with by the physios, as we see another replay of that opportunity for Saka. I don't actually think Saka's going for goal. He's trying to spread it across towards Aubameyang, and it comes off the toe of Johnny Evans before going to the path of Daniel Amati. Arteta almost having the perfect start against the Foxes today. Samari, thankfully, is back onto his feet, hobbling off the field just for a bit further treatment from the Leicester physios, but hopefully he will be able to remain on the field for Leicester. So, opening corner of the game will be taken by Emile Smith-Rowe towards the near post, flicked on almost towards the back where Tomiyasu was lurking. Gabriel can't keep the ball in play. It'll go out of play, I think, for a corner kick, and Leicester very much baffled by that decision. It's a lovely delivery. I think it comes off the head of Jamie Vardy, I believe. Now flicks it away from Tomiyasu, inches away the Japanese international from getting on the end of it. Arsenal continuing to press, and they've got a corner kick here now with Bukayo Saka. Just waiting for the whistle to be blown. Saka whipping him to the near post again. And it's flicked in at the near post. It's Gabriel who has got the goal for the Gunners. It had been coming. They've started so well in this game so far, Arsenal. And it's the Brazilian defender, Gabriel, who turns it into the back of the net, nestling in the right-hand corner. And Leicester, who have been sluggish to start so far, find themselves behind.
Yeah, that's really poor from Leicester. It wasn't a fancy corner. It was a straight corner. The middle towards the front of the post, here it is, and Gabriel just loses his run, and it's a free header. Yeah, it was. Is it an own goal, maybe? Just looking at, yeah, it's come off the back of Gabriel's head. He's ducked underneath it.
It's a wonderful header.
Wonderful header. Great direction towards the far goal, into the side netting. That's poor from Leicester, really. They should really be doing better. And 1-0 down after 5 minutes, and it's hard to say a goal was coming in the opening 5 minutes, but its opening 5 minutes has all been Arsenal. Leicester have barely had the ball. Yes,
they've been fantastic so far, the Gunners. They could be on their 7th game unbeaten if they manage to win or draw today. In fact, a win today would make it 3 consecutive away wins at Leicester for the first time since 1925. And they've started this game perfectly to do so, as Amati is caught in possession by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and Arsenal continue to really cause issues for this Leicester side. Aubameyang goes for a goal, and Schmeichel, although made the save, almost spilt it into his own goal. It just creeps past the post. He manages to keep it in play as well, the Danish goalkeeper. And in the end, it's gathered and cleared away from danger. Tomiyasu will put the ball out for a throw-in for Leicester, but almost a second goal there for Arsenal.
Yeah, it looks like Arsenal are switched on today. Good cup win in the week against Leeds. And you never know what you're going to get with Arsenal, but it looks like they're switched on, ready to go. And these opening 6 minutes has just been Arsenal. They could have had 2 with Amati's little deflection onto the line. Schmeichel almost saved that. Obviously, Gabriel's goal just now, and then Schmeichel. Normally, you would say Schmeichel is the ever-present best goalkeeper in the league. With his performances, the most consistent in the league, and you wouldn't expect him to drop that, and he almost snuck inside the near post. He got the long barrier out, but he just put it, I don't know what happened, he just almost went through him.
Yeah, just a lapse in concentration there by the Danish number 1, almost gifted Arsenal their 2nd goal of the game, and Leicester finally having prolonged spell of possession, although on the edge of their own half, as Evans finds Soyuncu, now with Maddison, who finds himself in space on the left-hand side. Back it goes towards Johnny Evans, who'll lift it over the top, intending for the run of Thomas, who did well to get away from Tomiyasu, who gets a cross in, but was unable to keep the ball in play, and he sends his cross way over Aaron Ramsdale's goal. Out of play for a goal kick for the Gunners, as we see another replay of that header from Gabriel. It was just far too easy for him to pull away from Aboubakari Samari. It was poor marking all around from Leicester, who have still, at the moment, they've only kept one league clean sheet all season, and that was on the opening day against Wolves. And you can sort of tell as to why they haven't kept any further clean sheets with marking like that. Samari, you could possibly argue, could be partly due to the injury knock that he picked up from the collision with Albert Lokonga. Leicester in possession with Maddison going back towards Thomas. It's come off the youngster last. So
they also had Jamie Vardy sort of patrolling that front bit of the 6-yard box coming from that side. And he's not the tallest. And I know as a striker you don't really want to tell your striker to mark somebody, but I think Jamie Vardy would be better utilised on the centre circle. You know, he's got pace, he plays on the left shoulder, very counter-attacky kind of player. And obviously you can launch a counter-attack from a corner perfectly, sort of the perfect template. But him patrolling that front part of the box, he's just, yes, he got in the one before, but he didn't think it would ever work.
Emile Smith-Rowe gets away from Amati, now towards Aubameyang. Here's Lacazette around 25 yards out, looks to chip it back into the area, headed away by Amati, be picked up by Yuri Tielemans, who's forced backwards towards Castagna. Castagna will look to set off Tielemans again, can't find him, nor Iheanacho, will come off Gabriel. Iheanacho has just got a slight touch of that, so it'll be sent out of play for a throw-in for the Gunners yet again, midway inside the Foxes' half. Tavares will take it and go back towards Gabriel once more. Here's Ben White. Under pressure from Jamie Vardy. Lacazette towards Lokonga inside the centre circle. Listening to unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Leicester City 0, Arsenal 1, the current score. Smith-Rowe, lovely dribbling to get away from Daniel Amati. No real support in the area though to aim for as he tries to get a cross in. It's a scuffed cross there by Emile Smith-Rowe. Will go out for a goal kick for Leicester. Just wasn't offered a great deal of runners going into the area there, Smith-Rowe, so he didn't really have many other options other than try and loft it in order for runners to come in, but then just got the execution wrong.
Yeah, to be fair, the other players might not be expecting him to get past it, because he got past Amati and Castagna very easily, like suspiciously easy. Just one drop of the shoulder and he's round both of them. And yeah, but you've got to say, strikers have got to prepare. You've got to prepare and get in that box for every occasion. Unfortunately, Arsenal weren't there. That's the only downside to their performance so far.
Pass from Soyuncu is cut out by Bukayo Saka. He manages to find Partey on the edge of the area. He's got a shot in him and he'll go for goal as well. Plenty of power and movement on that from the Ghanaian Thomas Partey, testing Schmeichel once again, and this time it's a far more composed save by the Danish number one. Manages to make the stop and then also palm it down so it wasn't too far away from him, so he could regather on the second time of asking. But again, Arsenal looking incredibly dangerous on the attack, but maybe there's an opportunity here for Leicester to have a rare foray forward. Maddison gets away from Partey, tries to get a shot away, has been caught by Ben White. He may have done as Iheanacho gets a shot away as well. It's going to get brought back for the free kick, and this is a very dangerous area here for Leicester.
Yeah, James Maddison wins the free kick about 20-22 yards out, quite central, just on the edge of the that D on the edge of the box. Yeah, it was a foul. Ben White just, yeah, shoves him off the ball after the ball's been played. Maddison on his back, starfish, just looking at the referee saying, come on, you got to give that. But yeah, this is Maddison's territory. He's got the ball under his arm as Kelechi Iheanacho and Johnny Evans for some reason standing next to him. I haven't seen Johnny Evans put his laces for it as he walks away, and I think you've got to say this is. We all know where this is going. It's going to go in Ramsdale's top right corner. He should be aiming that way. So I think, yeah, it's going to be quite special.
So we've got to wait and see what sort of delivery he will get. Iheanacho still standing over it. He might fancy this. Surprised that Yuri Tielemans isn't also over it, but Maddison, I think, is looking the most likely source of this attack. Is a six-man wall for Arsenal, as well as a player on the deck behind trying to block the low effort as Maddison goes for a goal, well blocked by the wall. Maddison then scoops it over, trying to find Castagna, and that's going to be easily gathered by Aaron Ramsdale. Brave defending from the Arsenal defence, which I think over the past years we haven't really seen. You'd normally see a lot of players, in particular for Arsenal, from free kicks, they would look to duck below the ball, so they don't want the ball to hit their faces, but there they were all very brave.
Yeah, they're quite a big team now, Arsenal, have recruited some tall players. I'm sure that's not the only reason. But yeah, you have of Arsenal years gone by, you sort of said that they haven't got that bravery, that courage that was shown obviously massively with the likes of Vieira and Keown and players of that calibre. But now maybe it's starting to turning point. Undefeated in 6, they've got that nastiness, maybe that mean streak that they need, that a team needs to get back into Europe. Yeah, so hopefully get more of that for Arsenal fans, of people of Arsenal persuasion. Leicester, they want them to be not putting the bodies on the line.
We've got another corner kick here after Lokonga's effort from around 25-30 yards out was blocked by Samare, sending it out for a corner kick. Saka from that far right-hand side, whipping the ball in again, aiming for Gabriel, the goal scorer, headed away. This time we picked up by Nuno Tavares, who looks to float it back into the middle, headed away this time by Amati, only as far as Tomiyasu, who just lifts it high into the air, nowhere near an Arsenal player really. Thomas's header will find Maddison, who looks to take on Takahiro Tomiyasu, and then Maddison looks to try and lift over the top for Jamie Vardy. Really composed defending there by Ben White to bring the ball down and then find Lacazette, who scoops it over towards Saka. Lacazette then can't turn away from Boubakary Samari. And Leicester will come away with it now with Amate. Samare once more. Here is Soyuncu, pressurised by Lacazette, who seems to have gone more central and forced Aubameyang more to the left-hand side now. As the through ball intended for Castagna is misplaced, Tavares will happily watch that ball go out of play for a throw-in. And in this opening 15 minutes, you've got to say that not only have Arsenal looked very dangerous going forward, but defensively they've barely given Leicester a sniff.
Yeah, well, just the midfield of Lokonga and Partey, they've just not allowed Leicester to come through. And again, I think there's probably a lack of quality as well from Leicester's part. 15 minutes in, the only real chance they've had was that free kick in which Maddison put straight into the wall. But you mentioned there, Lacazette is now up top. I think Leicester have got to keep very switched on. They've got Arsenal have got Lacazette, Aubameyang, Saka and Smith Rowe. All 4 of them are more comfortable playing anywhere on that forward line. All 4 of them are up there at the minute now, and obviously Leicester have lined up with free centre half, so they wanted to try and play free at the back. But with all 4 of them going forward and staying forward, Castagna and Thomas are going to have to come back and be defensively as Arsenal come forward again.
What a run that is by Nuno Tavares to get away from plenty of players as Lacazette gets a cross in, and vital interception by Johnny Evans, put out of play by Thomas for another corner kick. Arsenal really beginning to knock on the door, but that dribbling from Nuno Tavares to use his extreme acceleration to get away from the midfield, finds Lacazette his cross in. I think if Aubameyang is on the end of it, he may have been offside, so the goal may not have counted, but a lot of credit must go to the young Portuguese fullback signed from Benfica in the summer, as Gabriel and Ben White once again come forward for the Gunners. Be Saka on that far left-hand side to take. Saka floating it towards the back post, not the greatest of deliveries, can't find Tomiyasu. Lacazette is there to mop up. Here is Smith Rowe, now with Lokonga. Tavares shaped up to possibly go for goal from around 40 yards out. Not the best decision, that's why he went to Saka instead. Saka away from Thomas, lifted towards the back post. Tomiyasu, his header back across the face, cleared away by Johnny Evans. He'll go out for a throw-in, and you can tell that Johnny Evans is furious with his side, barking orders and his defensive midfield that they're just not tracking their runners. And yet again, a better ball into the area there by either Saka or Tomiyasu. Could have been another opportunity there for the Gunners.
That was shocking. Tomiyasu and Lacazette were just stood by themselves on the back post. I think 2 of the 3 centre-halves, I think it was Evans and Sancho, just turned to their teammates and put their arms up saying, what the hell's going on? How was that possible? And Leicester, they seem all at sea. Arsenal need to get another goal. They could put the game to bed before half-time, maybe even the first half an hour, because Leicester are offering nothing.
And they really are, as Smith Rowe brings the ball forward now for the Gunners, finding Lokonga, who gets away from Samare. 1-2 with Smith Rowe, back towards the Belgian midfielder. Tavares loses out to Tielemans, and now Jamie Vardy will pick up, and there might be an opportunity here for Leicester to break forward. Jamie Vardy.
Seems slow.
It is not the quickest of play, and Maddison's ball back towards Jamie Vardy is poor, and Thomas Partey will mop up and chip over towards Saka on the right-hand side, who's got a little bit of space to move into. Only Aubameyang to aim for in the middle. Lacazette on the edge will find Lacazette, who gets away from Evans, and it squirms away, and then will fall to Emile Smith-Rowe. That's 2-0 to the Gunners. Poor defending again from Leicester City. Smith-Rowe just lurking on the edge. It fell kindly to the Englishman, and he hammers it into the bottom left-hand corner. Wrong foot's Kasper Schmeichel. Nothing really the goalkeeper could do about that. Leicester 0, Arsenal 2.
Yeah, good move from Arsenal. Lacazette, I thought he blew the chance. I think he should have had his shot first time, but Leicester makes some sort of minuscule recovery, managed to get the ball off him, but it forced to Smith-Rowe. He's timed his run perfectly, just gently jogs onto it, right foot strokes it into the, not into the corner, but just, he's come through quite a few bodies, I think, and Schmeichel just can't sit till late, and he's just completely sort of look at it. Saka again, playing the cracking first 18 minutes, coming into the box on the right-hand side. Like I said, maybe could have had a shot there, but minuscule recovery, and George, perfect. Gets it in between Amate and Surimari, and just strokes it into the bottom left corner. 2-0, and Leicester have got nothing. They've offered nothing going forward. Midfield's poor. They just had a counter-attack, and it was slow, and nobody seemed to want to get up with Jamie Vardy. Arsenal get the ball, turn it around, 30 seconds, 2-0 up.
Yes, and thoroughly deserved as well so far from his Arsenal performance. They were fantastic in the first half against Aston Villa, put the game to bed, sort of took their foot off the gas in the second half, which allowed Aston Villa to get a goal back, and they weren't able to get anything else from that game. So Arsenal may be looking to do a similar effort today, maybe trying to get 3-4 ahead so they can be a little bit more relaxed in the second half. But Leicester, well, they have a large uphill mountain to climb to try and get their way back into this game, and at the moment we have not really seen any quality from the Foxes, as Castagna will play that back towards Daniel Amate, aiming towards Tielemans. It squirms away from him. Lacazette will mop up for Arsenal, and now Bukayo Saka tries to bring the ball forward, has the overlap in Tomiyasu, held up well by Soyuncu. Lovely defending there by the Turkish centre-back. It's poked away towards Thomas Partey, who in turn will take no chances and go back towards Ben White, and Arsenal will just hold on to possession once again. It's been such a composed performance so far from the Gunners. What do you think it's been more of, though? Have Arsenal been great, or has it been just poor from Leicester?
I think Arsenal have been great. They've been come here from the minute go. They almost scored within a couple of minutes. It's a perfect start for him. Keeps going as Saka's almost played on that right-hand side. But you do have to, you can't. It's hard to say, because Arsenal have been great and really good, but Leicester have really allowed them to be great, and they've not really done much with it. They've barely had the ball. I would say, I don't know, 70-30% possession in Arsenal's favour of the ball, and that's at the King Power away from home. One's called it the Walker Stadium.
As Samare has possession for Leicester. But I did mention earlier, there is another game you can listen to on our service currently in the Championship, the early kickoff between Fulham and West Brom. Fulham have just taken the lead against the Baggies in that one at Craven Cottage. Alexander Mitrovic from the penalty spot, the Serbian, giving the Kostjas the lead there. Played just over 20 minutes of this game so far. Listening to unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2, the latest score. Samare back towards Yuri Tielemans, now with Amate again. Arsenal sitting back and inviting the pressure for the time being, but they're not really being troubled as Amate's through ball intended for Iheanacho, intercepted by Smith-Rowe to knock it back to his goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale, and he'll take his time in waiting for the pressure from Iheanacho. Ramsdale's actually going to throw the ball out of play because Gabriel seems to be in a spot of bother here. I'm not sure exactly what he's done, whether it was a muscular issue from something he's pulled over the course of the game. He's gone down off the ball. Not sure when he started hobbling, but this could be a real cause for concern for Arsenal.
Yeah, so who have they got on the bench that could come in? Looking at Rob Holding's probably the obvious standout. Just looking down this, yeah, it will be Rob Holding's coming on, so let's see if we can find it. See if we can see where he picked up this knock. He's put his hand up there, was that? No, that's not him there, but this is the goal. Perfect play, switch ball, nobody's pressuring. Luke Thomas supposed to be on the left wing, nowhere to be seen, and just look at this, it's just easy. Smith-Rowe, no one's picked. Castagna's just left him on the edge of the box, and he's looking around. Maybe he's doing that quick thing of, how's that happened? It's like he's trying to deflect the blame away from him. But yeah, perfect start from Arsenal halfway through this first half, and they're cruising.
They really are. They are coasting at the moment, the Gunners, as the Arsenal side go over to get some more water and fluids on board. Gabriel is back onto his feet. I think he's had the treatment. I think he's going to try and run this off. But it looks like it's his right knee that was the issue. That is where the treatment has been given. So we'll see how long he's able to survive for, if Arsenal are going to be forced into an early change like Max was adhering to. Rob Holding is the likely player to come on, although you've also got the likes of Sead Kolasinac and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who can also do a bit in defence, though more full-back than the centre. As Ramsdale holds on to possession and will play the ball out from the back. We're now past the halfway point of this first half. It's Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2. And taking you through the next few minutes will be Max Hunter.
Yeah, just little graphics come on the screen. Look at the attempts. 1 attempt for Leicester and 5 for Arsenal, 4 on target. I can't even remember the one that I missed. But that's how convincing this has been. Leicester, they're going to have to try again into the game. They're going to have to try to do something different. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see tactically if they've changed shape or anything like that. But Leicester at the moment just can't get out their own half, playing it along the back line. And Arsenal with that front four of Lacazette, Aubameyang, Smith-Rowe and Saka, not giving them time to breathe and really keeping that foot on the neck, not stepping off the pedal. All of those cliches, and just seeing Leicester just going sideways. They've been forced all the way back to Schmeichel now, and he's going to have to go long to clear the lines, give him somewhere to breathe. He finds Castagno, and it's not convincing. Ball back into Tielemans as he's putting the pressure, and again back on the edge of the 18-yard line. Good pass there, good ball forward to Iheanacho, but again they're not going forward. It's all sideways. Maddison's putting his arms up. He wants it. He's your talisman if you're a Leicester fan. You want him on the ball to create something. Jamie Vardy, very quiet start. The only thing I've noticed he's done is cleared a corner. Schmeichel's under pressure from Aubameyang right in front of the 6-yard goal, in the 6-yard box right in front of the goal. That could have been, that would have been embarrassing. 3-0 down wouldn't have been great for the Foxes at home in the game. They really want to win and try and get back into that Champions League. They are just on the periphery of that at the moment. Slowly coming forward now. Castagno gets it inside the box and he plays a goal, trying to looking for Iheanacho, but the goal scorer of goal number 1 for Arsenal, Gabriel, gets it clear. I think Castagno could have had a shot there, really.
I wouldn't have blamed him if he did. The ball fell nicely to him just inside the area, around, I want to say 16 yards out. It may have been slightly difficult to really test Ramsdale from the position of some of the Arsenal defenders. It really cut out the main scoring areas. He tried to put it back across the face, but it wasn't the greatest of deliveries. And Gabriel, he's back onto the field after his earlier knock. It was quite a simple clearance from him. But Leicester, they're beginning to grow into this game a little bit more.
Yeah, they've had the last minute or so since I've started taking the lead in this. They've had the ball, but not been very threatening with it. A lot of sideways movement. Just a prime example, Soyuncu into Maddison. Maddison just gets it, plays it back to Soyuncu, not even wanting the ball for more than one touch. As Amate brings it forward now slowly, clocks back. Look at that, you've got back 5 and a midfield 4 from Arsenal. 2 good defensive lines. And Luke Thomas is now in the corner flag, getting it there. Tomayashi's putting pressure on him. He can't get the ball in the box. And it's uninspiring, really.
Yes, it really is. It's just playing it from side to side, going from one wing to the other, but they're having sort of an allergic reaction to putting the ball into the actual area in order to really test this Arsenal defence. The ball is played through, intending for Jamie Vardy, who just was unable to get around the Arsenal defence, and Ramsdale was quick and alert to the danger in order to mop up. But I mean, despite the fact that they've got the likes of Maddison and Tielemans on the field, there's a real lack of creativity from the Foxes at the moment. And Arsenal, we know they've had defensive issues in the past, and if you have a decent attack and they're on form, you're going to cause this Arsenal defence problems. But at the moment, this Arsenal defence has been coasting at times. It's been far too simple for them.
Yeah, it has. And 3 clean sheets this season, conceded 13 goals. So it's not great, but it looks like it's on the mend. Do you think Ben White has had his big signing, 50 mil? Obviously, there's a bit of noise at the beginning of the season. Is he ready or not? But the great compliment for a defender is there's no noise about him anymore.
No, there isn't. He definitely had a horror show of a debut against Brentford. I don't think anyone can really deny that. He has grown into his mission a bit more.
Shot from Iheanacho. Oh, about 30 yards out, left-footed. Ramsdale's right post, and he looks like he may have got a touch on it. He's claiming the corner. Ben White's gone over and given him a high five. Listen, played into it. He's got a lot of space. He's found the gap in between the lines, and it's not far away. It's very close. And see if Ramsdale gets a touch on this. It's hit the post. I think it's hit the post there. And we'll see what the referee's giving us. Watching the replays and see what happens. Iheanacho, that's the best. Oh, it is a corner. It was
clearly tipped onto the post. If that's the case, that's a wonder save from Aaron Ramsdale.
Here we are. This is the first corner for Leicester. First real chance. They've had a couple of sniffers in the last couple of minutes, but nothing really of note. So first chance to really get the ball in the box. Test Ramsdale out. Maddison, oh, it's high, it's long, it's towards the back post. It's not great, and Arsenal get it clear. That's very disappointing from Leicester.
It's a real waste there from James Maddison. It was a high looping ball towards the back post. It allowed plenty of Arsenal players to get out and make the clearance. It's a really poor delivery from Maddison, who hasn't had the greatest of games for Leicester today. I mean, in the summer there was plenty of rumours of who would have been the best player to sign for Arsenal, Martin Ødegaard or James Maddison. That was the main sort of comparison between the two. And yes, Ødegaard's not playing today, but Maddison, he hasn't had the greatest start to this season, and at the moment he's not really making a name for himself for Leicester this campaign. But he does chip the ball over there towards Iheanacho.
Yeah, well, on today's performance and today's 28.5 opening minutes, Maddison won't get in this Arsenal team. The front four is like, here we are, latest chance we just talked about there, and Kelechi Iheanacho, he was offside in the end, so it wouldn't have counted. So half an hour, just approaching half an hour. Leicester struggling to get into the game. They're 2-0 down, Arsenal are cruising. The perfect away performance. They got their first goal inside the first 5 minutes, and you've got time. When was the second goal scored from Smith Rowe? Was it about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, it was around the 17th minute, so approximately 10 minutes ago. Yeah, 80th minute is the official confirmation. I mean, since then we haven't really had too many opportunities from Arsenal. I think Leicester have shut up shop a bit better now. They're finding their feet in this game. They're more composed, and they're causing Arsenal a fair few more issues than they once were. Obviously, Iheanacho's effort wonderfully tipped onto the post by Ramsdale, the closest that Leicester have come from really two shots they've had over the course of the entire game. But it is now more of an even matchup, but Arsenal, they're still on top, and they're looking to come forward again here now.
Yeah, Saka picks it up on the right-hand side. He's had a great day against Luke Thomas, hasn't really been able to deal with him. And he plays it off now for Tomiyasu to get past Thomas, brings the ball in and into that corridor of uncertainty, but Schmeichel, like I mentioned, he is brave, he's a good keeper, he hasn't had a great game today, but that one, he's assertive, comes out, collects that on the floor. To be fair, not much under pressure in terms of Lacazette and Aubameyang. But Arsenal, what do Arsenal do? Do they try and get a third before half-time, or do they try and keep it 2-0 in the last 15 minutes here?
I mean, I'd probably say going for a third is the best option here. 2-0 is normally classed as a very dangerous lead. You just need one goal back for Leicester, and suddenly the entire momentum completely shifts in this game. And yes, although it is comfortable, if they concede, they will still be in the lead. We've seen time and time again that Arsenal, they have crumbled at times once momentum goes against them. So they do need that third goal. As Maddison tries to send a through ball towards Jamie Vardy, a vital interception by Tomiyasu to get the ball away. But Leicester, they're growing in confidence and beginning to knock on that door.
Yeah, they are knocking on the door, but they're knocking very politely. They haven't got the big treat. Oh, I don't know what it's called. The battering ram. There
battering
it is.
ram.
They haven't got the battering out yet. They're just throwing some sticks at the door at the moment. Arsenal very comfortable. Perfect away performance so far from them. They've got the two banks of four with the defence in the midfield and Aubameyang and Lacazette. Willing runners. Is this something Arteta's brought into it? Have they always been willing runners? Putting pressure on. They say the perfect form of defence is a good attack.
I mean, it's something that Arteta has tried to instill over the seasons. Only recently is it really becoming to be consistent and come to fruition. I mean, it's wonderful to see from an Arsenal fan perspective for Lacazette and Aubameyang to be playing in the same side and seem to be playing well with each other. It's what many fans have been calling for over the past seasons, ever since we've had them. Obviously, there's been very strong rumours recently that this might be Lacazette's last season at the club, with contract extension issues currently going on but between the two parties. But at the moment, Arsenal pressing from the front is working well for them. They just can't afford to get caught out, because we know there's plenty of gaps that can be exploited by Leicester or any side from this Arsenal defence.
Yeah, pressing sounds so simple, but obviously we saw against Man United and Liverpool that pressing is very difficult. It's very difficult, and if you get it wrong, your team can get torn to shreds. Obviously, that's a very good Liverpool team, and Leicester not on that quite level. But Arsenal again very comfortable, cleared the lines. Leicester just sort of fiff-faffing around that 18-yard box, unable to get into the penalty area. Arsenal get the ball clear and send it back to Arsenal's back forward. Johnny Evans now just coming into the centre circle and playing it left to Sayuncu. Arteta, look at him, he's animated, he's applauding everything, giving the oh come on, Gini's arms up and down, really motivating his team, and his team are playing for him.
Yeah, they really are. As we see another replay of that effort by Kelechi Iheanacho, I've really struggled to see what sort of touch Ramsdale gets on that. To me, it does just hit the post. If it is a touch, it's a glancing touch at most. I'm really not sure how much impact it makes on the trajectory of the ball for that a chance.
It's
for
one of those.
Leicester.
I wonder if you're a goalkeeper, do you claim that you have saved it because it looks good, but then you have to say, oh no, because I've conceded a corner here. But I suppose when you're 2-0 cruising, you can say, oh yeah, ref, if the ref comes over and says, did you touch that? You go, oh yeah, that was a great save, ref. I did get a touch on that. Yes, it is a corner. But again, Leicester offering us a long ball switch to Castagne. Now, can he get past his man? He's a quick give and go. You've got a chance to get the ball in. Cruyff returns it back to Iheanacho. It lines up to shoot. He's closed down well by Gabriel. And now he's forced him out. Look at that. Good defending, good pressing from Arsenal. Gabriel forces Iheanacho out the box. Here he is again, trying to run in there. But he's got 3 Arsenal players on him in a flash, and he can't offer anything for his team. And Arsenal bring it clear, but Saka, he gets dispossessed, and here we go again with Leicester. Arsenal, it's noticeable that Arsenal are sitting back a little bit, and Leicester letting Leicester have the ball, but they aren't doing anything with it. So I guess it's Arsenal very happy to say, Leicester, you have it. You're not doing anything with it. We've got our 2 goals. We're set up. We're happy. Please pass it sideways.
Yeah, at the moment they're very happy for that to happen, and I don't blame them in the slightest. They're really not being troubled by this Leicester attack at the moment, as Tavares brings the ball forward and is then caught by a trailing leg of Yuri Tielemans. I mean, if I was Arteta, if I was the Arsenal defence, I would allow Leicester to have the ball in those areas, because at the moment they're not coming forward with any real intensity. They're not finding the gaps. The defence has been very strong and concrete, really. And Arsenal have kept their shape when they've needed to. And to be honest, on the counter-attack, they have looked slightly dangerous as well. So maybe it could be a bit of a plan, really, Arsenal. They've got that 2-goal lead. They're going to sit back and fight the pressure, because they know Leicester need to attack them in order to get back into this game. And that's where the gaps are going to open once again.
Yeah, this first 35 minutes, if you are late to join us, it's Arsenal 2, Leicester 0 here at the King Power. They're at the King Power Stadium. And it's been a real snatch and grab performance by Arsenal, flying out the traps. Got a goal within minutes of the whistle of the kickoff, with Gabriel scoring from a free header from a corner, and then Smith Rowe extended that lead in the 18th minute. And since then, Leicester, I think they've come into the game, but Arsenal have allowed them to come into the game with just meaningless possession in their own half and on the halfway line, as Arsenal recover the ball. And it's Ben White just telling his team what he wants them to do, and here he is, just gets past Iheanacho. He's coming over the halfway line. It's very Bobby Moore-esque. There's that famous clip where he brings the ball forward, and Saka now. Arsenal, look at this, comparing the pressing of Arsenal and Leicester, you can see the difference.
Oh, you really can. Leicester, they've been very sluggish in trying to press Arsenal with possession. Arsenal just playing triangle football at times as Lokonga twists and turns and finds Thomas Partey. It's been a joy to watch at times with Arsenal, with their possession so far. They're making Leicester do as much running as possible. I can only imagine that Brendan Rodgers is going to give quite the hair-dry treatment at half-time. He can't be happy with what he's seen from his side so far.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go until half-time. Just looking at the Leicester bench, you think he's got to bring on Daka, you imagine. He's doing well in the Europa League, getting a hat-trick or two. But yeah, something needs to be changed, either tactically or personnel, because Leicester, they're struggling here. Arsenal are really doing a number on them.
Yeah, I mean, look at the players on the bench. Daka and Harvey Barnes, I think, are the two most likely players to come on in regards to offering more in attack, alongside possibly Adamola Lookman. I mean, personally, the first change I might make could be Wilfred Ndidi to come on.
I was just looking at that, yeah. The midfield's done nothing for Leicester so far.
He would stop the onslaught of the constant attacks through the middle from Arsenal from the midfield. He will offer a bit more defensive solidarity and really make things that much more difficult for Arsenal in their attacking areas, and then it just means that they need to improve a little bit more going forward. So maybe him on for possibly Samare, who hasn't done a great deal. Yes, he did pick up a knock early on as well.
I've been very disappointed in Samare. He's not really, what he's done is done. The only thing I've noticed, maybe that injury and letting Gabriel go for that free header. He hasn't offered anything positive for Leicester. As a switch play to Saka is over his head, it's over Lacazette's head, and he's not happy about that. He wanted that on the floor, and so Leicester throwing on that left-hand side. And Senor Arteta, you'll be very happy with today's performance. Would you give it a 10 out of 10 so far?
Well, from Arsenal's performance,
From Arsenal's performance,
I think it's very hard to find many errors or any individuals that put a foot wrong in this first half. It's been nigh on perfect from Arsenal's point of view. I mean, maybe they could have easily been like 3-0 up at times. I mean, they've been clinical. They've hit the target plenty of times. They've tested Schmeichel, and defensively they've been very resolute. So, I mean, it's normally incredibly hard to get like a 10 out of 10 performance, but it's definitely up there with a high 9.
Yeah, perfect away performance. Got the goals. Sat back, 2 banks of 4 as a shot from distance from Tielemans. That looked very unthreatening and very, I've run out of ideas, I need to do something with this. Chest it down, 1 or 2 bounces, and Tavares just sort of gives him enough space to have it, but straight into the arms of Ben Ramsdale. And Ben Ramsdale, his goal kicking hasn't been great today. I've been noticing wanting to play it short, because obviously Arsenal, you think of Arsenal, you think play through the lines, take it up the field, but he's been kicking it long to a shirt in blue.
Yes, he's he's normally better with his distribution, Aaron Ramsdale. And today, maybe he's being forced to go longer from the occasional high press from Leicester, but I think we can sort of give him the benefit of the doubt there, because yes, he's giving it straight to a player in blue, but it's very rarely in a dangerous area. It's going high up the field, it's going back towards the Leicester defence. They have to start from the back again, and then it allows Arsenal to gather their shape once again.
Yes, good interception from Arsenal now. They're bringing it forward with Smith Rowe, gives it to Lokonga.
Tavares.
Tavares, that's right. And now it's Lokonga, and he spread it wide for Tommy Ishu to try and chase that, and he just about keeps that in play. He's got Saka with him support. Partey's there as well. And Tommy Ishu and Saka and Partey just playing triangles. Lovely through ball, but it's just a little too much, and Saka couldn't get on the end of it. That was very easy for Arsenal. They're very threatening when they want to be. They can just click of a finger and go, right, we're going to switch this on now. Almost paid off for him, and Saka was in there. He could have played that across. He's done that a couple of times, and there have been decent balls into the box. And Arsenal could have got a third just 5 minutes before half time, and that would have really sent Brendan Rodgers over the edge. I imagine his team have not performed, and he's just hands in his pockets, just looking at him. He's looking bewildered, really, that's the word, as Leicester come forward again. Castagna back to Amate. Quick give and go with Tielemans, but no real pace, no real ground found, as it's into the box for Maddison to knock down. It's up onto Iheanacho's hand, but there was a foul just beforehand, and we've had a free kick in this position before. Again, Maddison wins it again, as this one looks to be winded him a little bit. Let's have a look at it. So Amate clips it into a little bit naughty there for White. No attempt at the ball, and an elbow into the back of Maddison. What's your view on that, Will?
It's an interesting one from Ben White. He pulls out of going for the header, which I think was why he initially had the arm up, so he could challenge. He then decides against it, but leaves his arm for protection, which is an odd decision. And then he catches him with the point of the elbow into the shoulder, slash the back of Madsen. It's going to be very sore for the Leicester number 10, and maybe just a little bit naughty there from Ben White. But I don't think there's enough in that. There wasn't enough of a swinging arm motion for it to be warranted for a yellow or red card.
It was very much just sort of a leaning thing. It wasn't a jab of the elbow of sort, if you can jab with the elbow. But we've had a free, we've seen this before. Maybe it's a bit more central from the one before, but it is just outside the D, about 22 yards out. Madison and Kelechi Iheanacho standing over it, but Madison probably is the favourite to take it. He looks more interested. Tielemans is Kelechi Iheanacho is trying to form. Here we go. Over the wall, a great save from Ramsdale, and following up by Johnny Evans, and I don't know how that didn't cross the line. It trickled onto the line and Arsenal get it clear. Very, very close. That Leicester needed that, but Ramsdale answers the call. Here we go. Tips it onto the bar. Great save from Ramsdale. Johnny Evans, first one to correct. And did Ramsdale save that, or did it hit the post?
He saved both, Ramsdale. That is unbelievable goalkeeping by the Arsenal number 32. First of all, what a save it is to tip it onto the crossbar. He loses sight of where the ball is. It squirms out to Johnny Evans, who slides in. Ramsdale makes himself big enough and gets a vital arm to it to make sure it doesn't go in, and the spin of the ball stops it from going over the line. An unbelievable moment of about 5 seconds of football there, and somehow it doesn't go in, and we're just getting pictures of Bernd Leno in the Arsenal bench. And I think it's safe to say we now officially know why Ramsdale has displaced Bernd Leno for moments like that.
Yeah, you really know when it's your day, when something like that, when the ball bounces on the line but doesn't go in. So look at it,
it hits the post.
On the post, onto Ramsdale's knee, but it hasn't come off his knee with any speed whatsoever. And I think it was Tavares maybe who finally gets back for Arsenal. It was Johnny Evans was all alone there. He was ready for that. Maybe Arsenal had a lot of players in the wall, and Evans maybe left unmarked for that. But you know it's your day when that's going for you, and you know when it's not your day when the ball rolls along the line and it doesn't go in your favour. Here it is again. Madison, that is almost, it's not right in the corner. Madison, he's running away ready to celebrate. Rodgers has got his hands up and his hands on his face now. He thought that was he thought that was the godsend he needed just before half time to make it 1-2. And then, like you said earlier, Will, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. Next person, I'd say whoever scores next is the momentum's in their favour.
Yeah, whoever scores next will have the game in their driving seat. I mean, since going behind, Leicester have hit the woodwork twice now. Watching Iheanacho, well, technically 3 times, Iheanacho, Madison and Evans with the rebound. So they are really looking to get their way back into this game with around 20 seconds of the first half remaining, plus I'm assuming 2 minutes or so for added time. Leicester still looking to come through with it as Vardy makes his way into the penalty area. He's held up by Ben White. Vardy will play it off of the Arsenal number 4. It's come off Vardy again, so it will be a goal kick for the Gunners.
That was very disappointing for Leicester, because Vardy breaks the lines, gets through in that left-hand channel from a good pass from Iheanacho, and he looks across and there's nobody there. There's a late arrival was Castagna, and that's not great when your right back is the second player furthest forward, when you've got the likes of Madison and Tielemans behind Vardy. So 2 minutes of added time for that Gabriel injury, and obviously the Gabriel goal along with the Smith Rowe goal. Leicester just need to get into the sheds, as they say, reorganise, and Arsenal will be just cruised away through, but maybe not, as Smith Rowe plays the ball forward for Lacazette and Saka, and Evans plays it off Saka and then get a goal kick, and Arteta, very happy man.
Yes, and rightfully so. They've looked dangerous going forward. They've looked comfortable in possession, and defensively for the vast majority. They have been perfect. The only real times they've been caught out is from set pieces, just sloppy fouls giving away in dangerous areas. And we have almost allowed Leicester away back into this game, but thanks to some wonderful goalkeeping from Aaron Ramsdale, they've kept it at 2-0, and I'm sure Arteta will be very happy with what he's seen from his side so far. It's going to be very important that they are quick to start in the second half, because you would imagine that Leicester are going to be.
yeah, Leicester, you would well, they didn't fly out the traps in the first half, so anything's better than what they did in the opening 5 minutes when Arsenal got their goal and almost got a second goal. 20 seconds left, 2-0, Arsenal cruising well.
Yes, they really are. With around, like I say, 20 seconds remaining, you can't imagine there's going to be many more, if any, final attacks as the ball over the top towards Iheanacho. It's gathered by Ramsdale.
He'll just stand there, watch. He'll take his time, tell all the players to move forward, and Vardy's sort of lurking to stop Ramsdale from putting the ball on the floor and milk even more time. It's just clicked onto 4:47. That's 2 added minutes. Clears the ball upfield, and that is half time.
Yeah, so we're going into the break here. Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2, and we'll see you in the second half.
And hello everybody, and
0, Arsenal 2, the latest score after the first period of 45 minutes. And Arsenal immediately under pressure from Leicester, who have tried to start quickly in this one. There's been 2 changes at half-time. Harvey Barnes and Ademola Lookman have both entered the field of play. Yet to be confirmed exactly who it is that's come off, but we'll let you know, of course, once it is confirmed over to us. It's myself, William Maxwell, Max Hunter, taking you through this one. And Max, we're expecting a big response from Leicester.
Yeah, it has to be a big response, because in that first half, the only thing they offered was James Maddison having a free kick on goal, which was a good save by Ramsdale. Other than that, struggled to get into Arsenal's penalty area. Arsenal quite happy to set up their 2 banks of 4 with Lacazette and Aubameyang, providing a high press, which has been very noticeable, and just Leicester just passing a lot of sideways and backwards, not really doing anything. Arsenal, perfect first half performance away from home. 2 early goals, and then we're quite happy to sit back and make sure they got to half-time, not conceding any goals or any real threatening chances. But other than that, Leicester have really allowed Arsenal to play.
Yes, well, by lush things, it's Kelechi Iheanacho and Daniel Amati that have both been replaced for Lookman and Harvey Barnes. So I'll run you through the lineups once again momentarily as Arsenal come forward with Aubameyang on the left-hand side as the overlap into Tavares, and will play it through towards Emile Smith-Rowe. A vital tackle there by Johnny Evans, really well read by the Northern Irish defender to get that toe in back towards Schmeichel, who hammers the ball away from danger. So for Leicester, it's Schmeichel in goal. I believe they've gone to a back 4 with Thomas, Soyuncu, Evans and Castagna. Midfield 3 of Tielemans, Samari and Maddison, with Barnes, Vardy and Lookman leading the line. For Arsenal, it's as we were: Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tavares, with Partey and Lokonga the holding midfielders, Saka, Lacazette and Smith-Rowe supporting Aubameyang up top as Tavares looks to get across into the area. It's taken a big deflection, gone out for a corner kick. Arsenal starting the half as they started the first with a big goal-scoring opportunity. It was I think a mixture of a cross-turn shot from Tavares there, plenty of power behind it. It was Castagna who managed to get the toe to it for what will be the 5th corner of the game for Arsenal. And another opportunity for them to attack this as defence. Of course, they got their opening goal from a corner kick, a Saka delivery headed in by Gabriel. Saka isn't taking this one, it's on the opposite side, so it'll be Emile Smith-Rowe with his right boot to whip this into the area. Gabriel, one of the main focal points of this attack, I am sure. As we wait for this ball to be put in. Not the greatest delivery there by Smith-Rowe, headed away by Castagna, goes as far as Nuno Tavares. Looks to lift it back into the area, completely overhit, goes out for a goal kick, and a bit of a waste there from Arsenal.
Yeah, that would have... Sorry, excuse me. That would have been completely... Leicester, they got away with it there. They almost allowed Arsenal to have another perfect start. Leicester need to come out the chops flying. They need a goal before the hour mark to make the last half an hour very interesting, but unfortunately they haven't offered any of that in the first half. The first 3.5 minutes they haven't really they haven't flown at all. Arsenal have had the 2 good chances, Smith-Rowe and then Tavares, but yeah, Arsenal seems to have nothing's changed. With Arsenal, no personnel, and the momentum's still there for them.
It really is, as we have a throw-in on the far side for Tavares, thrown into Lokonga. It didn't look like the greatest of throws. It could have easily been given as a foul, but nothing given as Lacazette tries to poke it through towards Aubameyang. No foul given by Michael Oliver, as Samare just about gets away from Thomas Partey, and he'll break forward as a possible opportunity here for the Foxes. Samare, hounded down by Thomas Partey, will look to set off Jamie Vardy, who gets away from Ben White. His cross is then blocked by the former Brighton man. Saka's there to retreat as well. White on the volley hits it high rather than away, and Tomiyasu's header is far enough to almost find Aubameyang. Sliding tackle there by Yuri Tielemans. He mopped up again from Leicester City. Just let you know, in the other game you can listen to on our service, the early kickoff between Fulham and West Brom. It's Fulham 2, West Brom 0. The second goal coming just before half-time. For another one for Alexander Mitrovic, who's now scored 17 in the Championship this season, having a wonderful goal-scoring run of form in the English second division, as Harvey Barnes now, the substitute, will look to take on Thomas Partey, finding Luke Thomas back towards Barnes, not really being pressed by an Arsenal player, gets a cross in towards Vardy, blocked well by Ben White, cleared away from danger, back in by Evans, and Thomas will aim for Barnes, cleared away again by Tomiyasu, only as far as Thomas. Barnes will look to stand up the Japanese defender, cross into the area. Gabriel let that go, out for a goal kick, and well, already the substitutes of Lookman and in particular Harvey Barnes causing issues down the wings.
Yeah, Barnes is just a great footballer, isn't he? He's just looking at, drops the shoulder, gets away from Tomiyasu, and puts the ball in. And unfortunately, no one was there following in. Vardy went for the front post, but he went to the back post.
Yes, and no Leicester player was making a run towards that far area as Ramsdale hams it towards the right-hand side. Saka can't quite keep it in play. Barnes does. Partey, has he been caught by James Maddison? No, says Michael Oliver. It will be a throw-in for Leicester City, midway inside the Arsenal half. Back it goes towards Kangla Soyuncu. Now with Evans just inside their own half, Leicester. Evans will take his time, looking for a bit of movement and support. Eventually looks to lift it over towards Luke Thomas. He brings it down on the chest, finding Harvey Barnes, who gets away from Bukayo Saka. Will look to take on Tomiyasu. Lovely dribbling there by Barnes, back towards Maddison, who turns away from Lacazette. Holds on to it well, the Englishman, back towards Samare. High press from Lacazette to force Leicester further back, but they still hold on to possession with Evans. Now with Castagna. Lookman, not alert to the danger of Aubameyang. Tavares will chip it over the top for Smith Rowe, and there might be an opportunity here for Arsenal to counter. Smith Rowe looks to maraud forward, has the overlap in Tavares, will find Aubameyang. Held up by Adamola Lookman, then finds Nuno Tavares. Sliding tackle by Johnny Evans will come off the Portuguese defender last. Outplay for a throw in, and well, Leicester look like they want this more than Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah, I think Barnes seems to be the spark to this fight back as Maddison plays it through for Vardy on the right-hand channel.
Yeah, Vardy will look to take on Gabriel. No real support will cut it back towards Harvey Barnes, who caught it on the volley. It wasn't the greatest effort there by Harvey Barnes. You can understand why he went for it, because it was open in front of him, but he couldn't cushion his effort towards goal. It sails quite away wide of Aaron Ramsdale's right-hand post in the end, but another dangerous moment there for the Foxes.
Yeah, another Leicester moment where Vardy's ready to get the ball into the box of somebody and nobody's there. Barnes, it was a good ball from Vardy initially, because he pulled it right back to the outside the area into that little D on the edge of the box, and Barnes did well to make an attempt out of it. It wasn't great contact, but there wasn't really anything he could do with it, and if that went in, that would have been a great finish, to be fair to Barnes. But no, he's a goal scorer. Vardy and Barnes are a bit of an unlikely golden partnership, really, both at other ends of their career and both really helping each other out.
Here is Bukayo Saka for the Gunners. Finds Lacazette in a little bit of space in the middle of the park. Looks to lift it over the top for the run of Nuno Tavares. It's a misplaced pass though by the Frenchman. Goes straight out of play for a goal kick. Leicester will look to just run and get a new attack going, as Arteta has a few words with his staff as possible changes that could be made. Just to run you through the substitute benches for both sides. For Leicester, obviously Barnes and Lookman already entering the field of play. The other players they've got to choose from are Ryan Bertrand, Hamza Chowdhury, Patson Daka, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, Wilfred Ndidi, Yannick Vestergaard, and backup goalkeeper of Danny Ward. For Arsenal, it's Mohamed El Neni, Rob Holding, Sead Kolasinac, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Gabriel Martinelli, Martin Odegaard, Nicolas Pepe, Cedric Suarez, and of course backup goalkeeper Bernd Leno. Here is Evans back towards Schmeichel once again, under no real pressure from any Arsenal player, so we'll go back towards Johnny Evans once more. Eventually he's got the slow press of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Here's Castagna, back it goes towards Evans once again, looking for some movement ahead of him. Now towards Kangla Soyuncu. Here's Thomas, away from Saka. Harvey Barnes will get away from Partey. Barnes twists and turns, get away from Tomiyasu. Held up well though by the Japanese defender. Now with Boubakary Samari. Tielemans through ball to Luke Thomas. Opportunity. Thomas will go for goal. It's not too far away from that left-hand post. It was a toe poke really from the full-back, inches wide. But Leicester really getting closer and closer.
Yeah, it was a good build-up. Just nothing here. Look, there's Thomas left-hand. He's found a gap in between the full-back and the centre-half, and Partey's not picking him up. He really needed, Leicester really needed that one to go, and we mentioned the need one before the hour mark. That's in 5 minutes, and that's probably since from open play, that's their best chance created. He's obviously left back, he's very left-footed. I think a right footer would have been better in that position, as Castagna's found a gap to put the ball into the box. It's deflected, and Partey just gets there before Maddison on the penalty spot.
Yes, a really important interception there by the Ghanaian, sliding in to clear the ball away for a corner kick. It was a wonderful through ball by Lookman to find Castagna. Had Vardy in support, trying to cut it back towards James Maddison. That party alert to the danger and was congratulated by Tomiyasu and Aaron Ramsdale for his defensive work. Second corner of the game for Leicester City. Soyuncu, Evans, Lookman, Barnes, Vardy, all in the area to aim for. It'll be James Maddison that will take this. An outswinger with his right boot. Thomas and Samari lurk on the edge, aiming towards Soyuncu, headed away by Gabriel. It'll fall as far as Thomas, who looks to put the ball back into the area. Soyuncu, I think, may have been offside. It's gone straight into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale, and he'll look to slow down proceedings for the Gunners and try and just regain their composure, because the opening 10 minutes of the second half, apart from one corner kick really for Arsenal, has been mostly Leicester.
Yeah, it's been a big improvement for Leicester, and I'm saying that in the case of Leicester, were maybe like low 10s, maybe 2 or 3 out of 10 in that first half, and they've more than doubled it so far. They're looking threatening. Arsenal will be worried, Arteta will be worried. They need to get their foot on the ball and just kill this momentum, as Lacazette's just given a foul away in the midfield, and yeah, Maddison will take it.
Yes, it's around, I want to say, 40 yards out here for Leicester City, so I can't imagine he's going to go for Cole. He'd like to lift it into towards the area, as we're seeing Martin Ødegaard getting stripped and ready to come on for the Gunners, the Norwegian. See how he can affect the game going forward, as Maddison shapes to float it towards the far right-hand side in Soyuncu, back towards Lookman, headed away by Tavares, falls to Tielemans, who catches it on the half volley, but it sails comfortably over Aaron Ramsdale's goal. And it's another opportunity for Arsenal to clear their lines and slow down proceedings, but I think we may now see Ødegaard enter the field of play before this goal kick is taken. Just waiting confirmation of who it is that he's coming on to replace, and it's going to be Alex Lacazette, who it's going rare and rarer for him to actually see out a full 90 minutes, seemingly under Mikel Arteta. He's had a decent performance today, the Arsenal number 9, but it's Ødegaard that comes on to replace him.
Yeah, obviously it looks will be a change system. How do you 4-5-1 do you reckon in the midfield? At times, Lacazette and Aubameyang were playing up front in a 2 and providing good pressing on the Leicester midfield, and defenders forcing them all the way back to Schmeichel. So it will be a change of system, and I don't think the change of system was necessary.
No, I don't think it was. I mean, there's every opportunity that the system could be changed with Aubameyang staying in the middle as Lookman breaks into the area, gets away from one. It's a big save again by Aaron Ramsdale. A strong left arm to parry the ball away. Lookman breaking through the Arsenal ranks. It was a tight angle for him to possibly score from. It was a back heel from Vardy that found him. It was definitely on target, and yes, it's a save that you would have expected Ramsdale to make, but it was one that he had to make.
Yeah, very good Ramsdale. In this game alone, he's really shown his critics. Obviously, a move from relegated Bournemouth and from a relegated team, and then coming to Arsenal. It's a big move, and a lot of people said didn't really need him. You got Leno, and it was a big money move, and up towards the £30 million mark. And some critics are saying it's unnecessary. He's not good enough. But today he's really kept. He's worked hard for this clean sheet, and he deserves it.
Corner kick whipped in by Maddison, aiming towards Soyuncu, headed away again, this time by Gabriel. Samari will mop up though for Leicester. Back it goes towards Tielemans. Maddison in space on the right-hand side again. Maddison will look to float it into the area, blocked by Bukayo Saka. Only as far as Evans. White's there to make the clearance again. There's still the pressure on. Maddison turns away from Tavares. Saka's there as well. Aubameyang will poke it through towards Ødegaard, and Arsenal will look to clear their lines. Aubameyang held up well by Samari. He'll go back towards Nuno Tavares, and Ramsdale will look to make the clearance. It's not too far away though, picked up by Samari. Leicester really causing the Gunners issues at the moment. Here's Yuri Tielemans, held up by Lokonga, through ball towards Castagna, back towards Maddison, still an opportunity, vital tackle there by Tomiyasu, picked up again though by Tielemans. Attack still on for Leicester, he hammers across in, blocked again by the Japanese defender Takahiro Tomiyasu, out for yet another corner kick, and Leicester forcing Arsenal into making silly errors.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck now defensively for Arsenal. Leicester are looking good. I think it's just all down to Barnes. Barnes has really made the change. Iheanacho, he didn't really help the flow of the game, didn't really offer anything. He's gone off, and obviously a change of system with Amate going off as well. It's throwing everything forward now. Leicester they need a goal nowish.
Yes, as Madsen whips the corner kick in, it's away from Soyuncu, headed away again by Gabriel, who's been everywhere for Arsenal today. It's been a wonderful performance so far from the Brazilian defender. It's mopped up by Yuri Tielemans. Back it goes towards Johnny Evans. Now with Samare once again. And he'll set off Maddison on the right-hand side. Support in the area, gets across towards the back post, intending for Evans, who I think may have caught Aaron Ramsdale, who collides with Ben White. Ramsdale has a few words of Johnny Evans. There's a bit of pushing and shoving, and Ramsdale and Vardy both having to calm players down. I think 4 or 5 players then surrounded Jamie Vardy to make sure there was less pushing and shoving. It was a bad reaction from Ramsdale, but to be honest, I think Johnny Evans has every right to go for that.
Yeah, I don't know what Ramsdale was thinking. He got up straight away and got the finger out and put it into the chest of Johnny Evans. Vardy pulling. I think Vardy was doing his Arsenal players' job in pulling Ramsdale back, and then the Arsenal players were pulling Vardy off him. I don't know. Evans just seemed to walk away completely innocent. He didn't really know what was wrong, and yeah, it was all Ramsdale's ignition. That really, I don't know. It was something out of nothing.
Yes, he needs to keep his composure, Ramsdale. Can't afford to lose his head as Madison squares it through towards Harvey Barnes. Opportunity, Barnes goes for goal, and says wonderful goalkeeping again by Aaron Ramsdale. Quick off his line, coming out to smother the chance for Harvey Barnes, who's taken a knock for his troubles. It fell very kindly to the Leicester substitute, who marauded forward one-on-one, and Ramsdale's leg saving the day.
Good, yeah, really spreads himself, jumps into a side-off position like a ruler, and it's a weird position to be. I've never seen a goalkeeper get into that position before. Still having words with Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans just rolled his eyes at him as Ramsdale still is hassling for something as Maddison swings in. That's a good ball, but it's cleared away. There's a foul on Soyuncu on his marker at that corner. He obviously doesn't agree with it.
No, I mean, I think that maybe it's slight pushing and shoving. I don't think there's much more as Ramsdale just a few moments to herself. I think instead of the legs making the save, it may have been the unmentionables. So it'll be a sore one for Ramsdale as he just tries to regain his composure, get some air back into his lungs as we see more pictures of Bernd Leno watching on.
I've never seen as many pictures for a reserve goalkeeper in a game before.
Yeah, so you can't imagine Leno is going to be happy from losing his #1 spot from the initial of Ramsdale, then turns around and celebrates in front of the Leicester fans for a goal kick. That's a peculiar celebration, to say the least.
Obviously, a bit of grief, a bit of banter going on with the home fans behind that goal. I think they know he got hit in a certain area and he was wounded, and he's still able to kick a ball, thank God.
Yes, Saka tackled by Samare, pressurised by Tommy Yasu. Samare will find Tielemans, his pass blocked by Ødegaard. Almost falls to Saka again. It's come off the head of Luke Thomas, who looks it high into the air. Partey will chest it down towards Martin Ødegaard, who'll be watched by Samare. Lovely dribbling by Martin Ødegaard. It's going to be a free kick for Arsenal, though. Ødegaard has his ankles caught by Samare. Not really a shooting position, but a dangerous area for the ball to be whipped into the area.
You can whip it in between the goalkeeper and the defensive line, sort of that 6 yards of penalty spot corridor. Samare nibbling at his heels, totally unnecessary. He did well in putting pressure on Ødegaard to turn around, and Ødegaard was had his back to goal, and then just a necessary clip of the ankles. And I wonder if it would be Saka to swing it in with his left foot, curling in towards that back post. Gabriel's there.
Saka towards a back post, intending for Gabriel. It's headed away by Castagna, then thumped further by Samare, be mopped up by Tavares, who's watched by Lookman, who continues to press high up the field. Ramsdale will pick it up and will hammer the ball away towards the right wing. Saka flicks it on, but can't flick it to an Arsenal teammate. So throw-in taken by Thomas, back towards Soyuncu. Arsenal, we need to press from the front once again if they are going to hold on to this 2-goal advantage. Here's Kasper Schmeichel, lifting it towards the far side, intending for Castagna. 1-2 with Samare, who's been caught by Nuno Tavares. It'll be a free kick for Leicester just inside their own half. Tielemans takes it quickly and goes back towards Johnny Evans. Now with Soyuncu, pressurised by Ødegaard. Soyuncu will get away from the Norwegian with Eid. Tries to maraud forward. He gets away from Lokonga as well. Great dribbling by Soyuncu to find Lookman, who gets across in, intending for Vardy. Cleared away by Ben White, only as far as Maddison, around 30 yards from goal. Here's Thomas supporting Barnes on the left-hand side. Barnes will look to take on Tomiyasu. Gets it onto his right boot, will look to go for goal from around 30 yards out. And that's a simple save for Aaron Ramsdale.
It was, yeah, Barnes. I think he took the run option there. He could have played that into the box, made a good space to make the cross, dropping the shoulder, getting away from his man. And yeah, it was just quite simple into Ramsdale. Takes it on the chest as he elects to throw it out all the way up to Aubameyang. And then is there a foul there? Referee's giving advantage, but Barnes, he's doing well. He's causing a lot of problems on that left-hand side for Arsenal. The right back, Tomiyasu for Arsenal, hasn't been able to deal with him confidently yet.
No, he has been struggling with Harvey Barnes since the number 7 has come on. He has looked very decent since his introduction. The academy product. As Thomas lifts it down line, intending for Maddison, it'll be mopped up by Ben White. Vardy will try and cause issues for Ramsdale, who'll thump the ball away from danger. Samare brings it down by his thigh. Holds off Martin Ødegaard. Spreads it towards the right-hand side now in Timothy Castagna. Now with Yuri Tielemans away from Lokonga. Lookman will hold off Ødegaard and find the run of Castagna. He hammers across in towards the back post for Harvey Barnes. It's misplaced. Will it be kept in by Thomas? Just about. The attack still on here for Leicester. Thomas whipping the ball in. Volleyed away this time by Lokonga. Back with Thomas again though. Leicester still knocking on the door, holding on to possession. Soyuncu finding Tielemans. 66.5 minutes gone in this game. Tielemans whipping the ball in towards Vardy. Free header around 15 yards out. Couldn't direct his effort on target. You've got to say that's a big miss.
Yeah, you would really back Jamie Vardy for that. That was a classic Jamie Vardy header. Running along the line, losing his marker, sneaking up on the other central defender who's not ready for it. Look at it. Oh, he's really just mistimed that. I think it might have even come off the side of his head. He's on the penalty spot, looking to put it in Ramsdale's bottom right corner, and it's gone wide to the right, very wide. Just mistimed it. Good idea. That's probably the best chance for Vardy. He hasn't been given many, and unfortunately, he's fluffed it.
Long ball at the top. Aubameyang has been felled there by Johnny Evans. He has. It's going to be the first yellow card of the game. It's the Northern Irishman who has picked it up. Aubameyang just tried to turn Evans there. It was clever forward play. Evans appealing that the Gabon striker held on to him, which I think there is an element of that, but there's definitely a bit of a judo sort of throw to the floor of Aubameyang. So it's understandable why not only the free kick was given, but why the yellow card was awarded as well.
Yeah, very much in the attacker's favour there. The referee maybe thought Aubameyang's got away from Evans here and he's just pulled him back, so you can see why it's given, but both were jostling, to say the least.
Yes, and Arteta doesn't look too happy as plenty of Arsenal players still continue to surround Michael Oliver.
He was too far out for the red, and Aubameyang, he didn't have control. If they're wanting arguing for a red card, he didn't have the ball into control, and there's still a long way to go from the goal. And he wasn't in arms around the chest, nothing was around the neck or anything like that, so it wasn't endangering the opponent in that sort of sense. But yeah, it wasn't a red card for me.
No, I think it would have been a little bit harsh if it was to be awarded as a red card. So we've got the free kick here around 35-40 yards out here for Arsenal. It's going to be Saka that will float it in towards the back post. Aubameyang lurking there. Aubameyang catches it on the volley. What a wonderful ball back in that is by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, inches away from finding a teammate. I think it may have come off the head of Timothy Castagna last. It may have gone out for a corner kick, but what a wonderful ball in that is by Aubameyang.
That is just aesthetically pleasing football. Just look at that side foot volley across the goal. Castagna gets his head on it. Smith Rowe, and I didn't see who else was there. Ødegaard, I think, flying in for a diving header there. Ready and waiting for it. It just looked good, that.
Yes, as Smith Rowe whips the ball intended for Gabriel. Aubameyang, what a save by Schmeichel. Alert to the danger, managed to parry the ball away. Partey making himself a nuisance. Tielemans goes down appealing for a free kick. It's going to go Leicester's way. And Leicester just about survive, but again Aubameyang involved, ball whipped in, and it is Aubameyang that gets the effort, and it's a really solid save there by Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, first reaction was, oh, Schmeichel didn't know much about that, but on the slow-mo replay we've seen he's put a leg out to stop that, and he's stopped with his shin. Saka now onto the box on his left foot, and it's blocked by Soyuncu, but not fully cleared. Saka again puts it across the box, and it's cleared. half cleared, and it's an offside flag's gone up because I thought Arsenal having another chance.
Yes, they're just beginning to grow in confidence in this game, Arsenal. We've passed the halfway point of this second half. It's Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2, and bringing you through to full time will be Max Hunter.
Yeah, just looking at Odegaard's laid it off for Saka again, and he's just offside. And looking at the chance for Aubameyang, great reaction save from Schmeichel as James Maddison is going off for the home team, and it looks like Daka is coming on. So another striker up for a. Well, I think they're just going for it now, just two up top, try and cause a lot of problems. I think the word so far has been Arsenal's defence has coped with Leicester's attacks in this first half of the second half, but Saka again lines on the shot, and that's a waste. So just going back to what's your thoughts on Arsenal defensively in this second half? I think coping is the word.
Yes, they've ridden their luck at times, definitely. Harvey Barnes causing plenty of issues, and as Ademola Lookman, to be fair, on the right-hand side. There's been more attacks to deal with, there's been more creativity, but for the vast majority, Arsenal have dealt with it very, very well. In particular, Ramsdale and Gabriel have been wonderful for Arsenal today.
Yeah, as Arsenal, in the last 5 minutes or so, they're starting to be a lot more assertive, be more confident on the ball, realising that a third goal with 20 minutes to go would really kill the game off, and a goal for Leicester would put them on the back foot. Obviously, as Daka, he's got a few goals in Europe so far, in the league, so he hasn't really, he's got none, I believe, in the league. He's getting all his goals in Europe, which can be nice under the floodlights, but you want to do it in the Premier League, really. And Leicester try to clear their lines from their own throne, but fail to do so, as Arsenal now have it with Partey in the middle of the park, and he spreads it wide looking for Saka, who's trying to get past his man Luke Thomas, and he half gets over, doesn't keep holding the ball. Tomiyasu into the inside. He's got Odegaard looking over his shoulder, trying to find a man, and he's found Saka. Arsenal building nicely on this right-hand side, moving centrally now with Partey and Lokonga and Tavares as well, just slowly building in the midfield. Now they're trying to go forward, but that pass is cut out by the Leicester defence, and they just play it back to Schmeichel. 20 minutes to go, no goals in this second half. Just under 20 minutes to go, excuse me, no goals in the second half. Goals in the first half for Gabriel and Smith Rowe for the Gunners, as Leicester have really improved in their performance-wise compared to that first half, as Arsenal again build, and a chip through for Saka, that's looked good, and he tries to find Aubameyang, but it's behind Aubameyang. He was on the penalty spot wanting it, and the Saka plays into the edge of the D, and Leicester tried to break away with Barnes, and he's appealing for a foul as Tomiyasu looked to get an arm across the chest, maybe into the face. We're looking at a replay. It's high. He's gone down, and I think as the referee sort of gave a throw in, I believe, but we didn't see that. But it wasn't taken short anyway. And Leicester still building along the defence. What do Leicester need to do in this there's 17 minutes plus added time? Obviously they need 2 goals, but how do you think they're going to go about that?
I don't think it's time for long ball football yet. They need to hold on to possession inside the Arsenal half and just keep working Arsenal, get more crosses into the area, get players into the area, try and confuse this Arsenal defence, and maybe something will pay off.
Oh, there's Tielemans putting the ball in. Oh, that looked a lot closer than it thought it was going to be, as Tielemans puts a ball in to Harvey Barnes. He's come off his left wing and he's found himself in the penalty box, and he's got a little glancing header on that, looking for the far corner. Ramsdale sits down, he was nowhere near it, and it just drifts wide. And Barnes has been the catalyst for change in this Leicester team, but still unable to put the ball in the net.
Yes, as it looks like Vardy is just coming a little bit late on Ben White there. That's going to be a yellow card for the Leicester number 9, but I think Barnes has got to be hitting the target there for Leicester. Just I think it may come off his shoulder. It was a lovely delivery again by Yuri Tielemans, but a real waste of a decent opportunity there for Leicester. Incidentally, in the other game you can listen to on our service, West Brom are now down to 10 men, a straight red card for Darnell Furlong.
Yeah, Ben White's still down. We just saw a couple of replays of it, and it was late for Vardy. He's had very little to go on today. He's a lot of frustration. Obviously his team in his first half, he didn't get any chances, and in the second half he's just had the one. 15 minutes to go. Ben White's having treatment. Just looking, Leicester have made all their changes. They've brought on Barnes, Daka and Lookman for Amate, Madison and Iheanacho. As I think the referee, he gave a free kick, so we're just waiting for that to take place. Ben White's up and about, he's ready to continue. Does Vardy offer a shake hand and apology? No, he doesn't as Ben White walks past him, but Ramsdale will clear his lines now. There we go, so we're back underway here at the King Power Stadium. Long ball, free header for Leicester to clear, and it's down with Leicester. And I'll say that as soon as they lose, Odegaard tries something fancy, but he runs into a brick wall and Barnes picks his pocket. And Leicester, it's all a bit frantic at the moment. So Leicester need to get the foot on the ball and do something as Daka goes down to a challenge from Partey, but nothing given. And he's still down and plays still going on. Lukonga bringing it forward now, and Arsenal, it's just, I don't know, it's gone a bit frantic, a bit scrappy in the last couple of minutes. Tensions boiling over from Leicester. Be annoyed with that first half performance, unable, and Ramsdale's, when they've had a chance to goal, Ramsdale stopped it. He's played very well. Would you say his best game of the season for Ramsdale so far?
I think as long as he gets a clean sheet, it's got to be up. I think each game that Ramsdale's played, he's had a very decent performance. He's always pulled off one or two really good saves. Today, I think he's been wonderful for the Gunners, and if he holds on to clean sheet, you would have to say it is going to be his best performance. He's been a real catalyst for change in the Arsenal back line, and it's rare to see an Arsenal performance in modern day football where defensively that they are looking quite solid.
Yeah, first half, no real problems for Arsenal as they've won a free kick in Leicester's just on that line of the changing of the third. So it'll be good. This one will be comfortably put into the box to try and get that third goal. Gabriel scored his goal from a header from a set piece. Look at Aubameyang there, just lurking at the end of the line. Luke Thomas has got his eye on him, but he doesn't want to leave the shape as Saka puts his right arm up, and it looks like it will be him. It is him who's clipped it in, but Leicester clear easily with Patson Daka. Now he's got a chance to play it through to Lookman, and that's a poor ball straight out of play, looking to put it down the line, and that would have been a good counter-attack. Lookman, we know he's got some pace and a bit of trickery. He could have caused problems with Arsenal sending men forward for that free kick, looking to get that third goal, but nothing came of it either. The counter-attack from Leicester or that free kick. And, Arsenal just playing the territory game, throwing the ball up the line, just slowly moving their way forward as Evans put it into the crowd, and Tavares, he's in no rush whatsoever. We've got 12 minutes to go of normal time plus added time, so I reckon it will be the full 4 minutes with all the substitutes that have happened. Tavares, he doesn't look confident taking a throw, and it's very how you go in, very sketchy, as he really emphasises throwing the ball down. He looks like he's not letting go of the ball in time, but referee Michael Oliver happy for it to go on, as nothing really is possession of the ball is exchanging quite a lot now.
Yes, it's getting very scrappy. It's getting end to end. Both sides still looking to attack, but Leicester probably still looking the more dangerous of the two as they come forward here.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy's got an edge box slip through for Harvey Barnes, whose shoulders he's off his man, and it's a cross-come shot, and Ramsdale there's tight angle, gets his body in the way of it. Tomiyasu didn't really show enough strength to see off Harvey Barnes. It's a corner now with 11 minutes to go of normal time. Leicester still trailing by 2. They need a goal soon to make it a 10 to 10 minutes. And, as Will mentioned earlier on, it's straight into the hands of Ben Ramsdale. As Arsenal are not known to be mentally strong, and they can sometimes be their own worst enemy in crumble at times. Would you reckon if Leicester score in the next 2 minutes, do you reckon another crumbling's on?
I don't think it'll be crumbling in the extent that Leicester will go on to win. I think there's definitely enough in this Arsenal side in order to hold on, but I can definitely see if there's a goal in the next 5 minutes or so, maybe Leicester creating 1 or 2 more chances in order to get a point, because there's always going to be that sort of history with Arsenal really letting themselves down in the final few minutes of games, that could easily happen again. So it's definitely not impossible for that to happen as Leicester once again come forward. Lookman in acres of space, but the pass from Daka well cut out by Tavares.
Yeah, just looking at the bench, you're thinking Maitland-Niles and maybe El Neni were to come on to secure it.
It depends what sort of formation Arteta wants to go for. If he wants to keep it as it is, as Lookman shapes up to go goal, find that Harvey Barnes gets away from one, gets away from two, but then runs into trouble in Bukayo Saka and be cleared away by Thomas Partey. And then his through ball to Aubameyang is poor. I mean, yeah, looking at that bench, I think Maitland-Niles to come on could be a decent option. Maybe El Neni for Lokonga. I wouldn't also be surprised if maybe Cedric Suarez comes on the right-hand side to replace Tomiyasu, as Tomiyasu's really struggled to deal with Harvey Barnes, as Odegaard is, I thought, caught by Lookman, but nothing given by Michael Oliver.
No, he's just allowed Arsenal to put the foot through and clear it as Odegaard is down. And I assume, Leicester playing on. And Tielemans, no, now players stopped and Michael Oliver waves play on, so I don't know if the foul was initially given or not. We're waiting for a replay to come up, and as I say, here it is. And yeah, it's Lookman there. It's not a stamp, but it's just made contact with the ankle of Odegaard. I don't know if that's still your viewpoints on it.
I think it's definitely a foul. Maybe Odegaard makes more of a meal of it than he needs to. It's clever play though by the Norwegian. It's definitely a free kick though. It will be a sore one, most definitely. Catches sort of the joint of ankle and shin, and that is sort of a softer area. So it will be someone for Odegaard, but I'd imagine he should be okay to continue. Although Nicolas Pepe is ready to come on for Arsenal for the final 9 minutes of the night.
I was just about to mention, we're just talking about subs, and Nicolas Pepe is a name that I thought, no, he's not what you want right now to see out a 2-0 win. Yeah,
I can only imagine that he wants to press from the front and maybe still have that opportunity to get that third to really put the game to bed. As Gabriel, Saka and Ramsdale have a few words with each other. Odegaard is back onto his feet, thankfully.
Yeah, Arsenal have only made one change, so they've still got 2 changes left. So I imagine when it gets closer to the time, 90 minutes, he may be more defensive, but that might be used as a wasting time substitute rather than a tactical change in the bench. So Odegaard has come off, he's up on his feet, he looks like he'll continue. So I assume Pepe is coming on, maybe Smith Rowe or Saka will be the ones going off. And I think Saka both performed well, but I think Saka is more of an outlet than Smith Rowe. He can deal with the responsibility more, I imagine.
Yes, I would agree with that, as Lookman breaks on the right-hand side. Opportunity here for Leicester.
Yeah, Prince into the box, and Gabriel meets it at the front post, and it's away, but only outside the box as Tielemans lines up a shot, and it is blocked, and we'll have another corner. Tielemans left-footed, trying to get that goal that Leicester need to get themselves back into the game. There's a corner on the right-hand side of Leicester. Aaron Ramsdale. There's a corner. It's met by Barnes at the front post. Flicked on. It's still a bit up and away. Nothing. It's a bit up more than away, and Arsenal finally get it away with Tomiyasu putting his foot through it and putting it into the technical area of Brendan Rodgers. Arsenal want to make the change now. Arteta's hassling the 4th official, and saying no, Leicester took it quickly, you can't argue with that, and it is now with Samare on the halfway line, as it's Leicester slowly looking to build. Arsenal staying in their shapes, being disciplined, not breaking out their lines and allowing holes to appear, and it works well for them as a ball attempted playing behind is run out for a goal kick, and it will be Bakary Saka coming off for Nicolas Pepe. That's how much I know about football. I was very much wrong. Saka, what do you make of his performance today?
It's definitely not been his best performance, Saka, but he has been a great outlet going forward. He's had a number of opportunities where he could have easily got a goal for his side today. He's done plenty of running. Maybe he's been caught out at times defensively, but I think it's still been a solid performance, and Arteta will still be happy with what he's offered. And a like-for-like swap, really, with Pepe going onto the right-hand side, I think sort of makes sense, considering out of the 2 that we mentioned earlier, Saka and Smith Rowe, probably say that's, although Saka is maybe more of an outlet, I should say, going forward and defensively than Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's had the better performance.
Yeah, Saka, for me, he hasn't really done much in this second half. He's had a quieter second half. He was very much used a lot in the first half on that right wing, but maybe his second half performance is detriment to how Leicester have improved, and the ball has been more on this left-hand side. It is now with Harvey Barnes being the real star in the Leicester's attempted comeback. It's not a comeback yet because it's still 2-0 down with 5 minutes to go, and I don't know if they've run out of ideas or they're just being patient, or it's Arsenal being very disciplined with their 4-3-3 formation. Nobody's breaking out their lines. Gabriel is adjudged to have clipped at the heels too much of the Leicester man. I think it was Tielemans who won that foul, but he's the one with the ball standing over this free kick as Evans, Soyuncu come forward, the big tall guys from the back. And so Castagne's free on the right if they want to work a better angle for this free kick. Choose not. Oh, that's poor. Straight into the one-man wall from Yuri Tielemans of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and that was he didn't seem to take much time and care over it. It seemed to rush it.
Yeah, it was really, really poor there by Yuri Tielemans. He needed a better delivery to offer his side
Arsenal
something.
Counter Pepe as an overlap, but it's a poor ball from Smith Rowe, I believe that was. And you were saying that's probably the only thing he's done wrong today. That really good chance for Pepe on the overlap. There was Odegaard there with Pepe as well, a real 2-on-1 situation. If the ball was perfect and to find his way through to Pepe from Smith Rowe, and then a real good chance for Freeland, you would say that would have been game over.
Oh yeah, a third goal for Arsenal will completely seal the game off as a contest. Smith Rowe had options, like you say, in Odegaard, the overlapping Pepe. Aubameyang also made a decent run towards the left-hand side. Either of those would have been the better option, but his attempted pass was just far too poor.
Yeah, we've got 3.5 minutes left to go of normal time. I can't remember a real... Going into the last 10 minutes, it hasn't been really panicky or anything like that. Arsenal have remained composed. Leicester haven't really had anything too properly clear-cut. Ramsdale have had chances in the second half. Aaron Ramsdale, he has met it with lots of good saves, good blocks, but he hasn't really done it. He hasn't really had to make a save in a while. Barnes linking up with Thomas to get crossing opportunity, and it's cleared by Ben White. They can't find that final piece of the jigsaw and get a shot on goal or create something, and they will. They get into the position, but just can't do that final thing.
No, they are really struggling to break down this Arsenal defence. It's been a composed performance from the Gunners as Pepe just about gets around Soyuncu, almost manages to get away from the Turkish defender, but Soyuncu does well to tackle back. Leicester just haven't been at the races today. They've been second best in all over the park, really, and I think Arsenal deserving of the 3 points, and it'll propel themselves up to 5th currently.
Yeah, Arsenal. There is an Arsenal man ready to come on as Leicester switch ball from Samara has gone out, so I wonder if they will make that change now, as we're just waiting for the game to get back up and going again. Aaron Ramsdale has had a great game in the green of Arsenal. We're just looking at talk us through this save.
It's an unbelievable save from Ramsdale. Doesn't mean he utilises his feet as much as maybe he should, but he flings himself over to the left-hand side and it manages to tip it onto the underside of the bar and then manages to get up and make it so difficult for Evans to squeeze it through. Yes, he doesn't really make the save. It hits the post and hits his knee and fortuitously doesn't end up going over the line, but he's had a wonderful performance today, Aaron Ramsdale.
Yes, really worked hard for his clean sheet. It would be the 4th one of the season in the Premier League for Arsenal's defence, and they have deserved it. They haven't got away with it in this second half. Leicester have come out looking for it compared to the first half, where there was nothing really of note to mention other than that free kick just before half time in Leicester's attacking game, and it was just bad news, no good news, just bad news from Leicester. As the Arsenal still waiting to make that change. We can't make out who it is on that far side, but it will be used obviously to waste time as we're coming into the 90th minute. 1 minute of normal time remaining. Leicester need to find 2 goals out of nowhere, and it will be Saeed Kolasinac coming on for Smith Rowe. So really shoring up that back line now with Smith Rowe coming off for Kolasinac in the last minute. It's Smith Rowe's goal. Do you want to talk us through that one?
It was really well taken. It was very fortuitous into how it fell to him. Lacazette trying to bundle his way through. It was, I think, Luke Thomas that slid in and managed to get the ball away. Falls to Smith Rowe, who was really poorly tracked by Castagna, finds his space and he makes the right decision, hits it hard back across from where the ball came. Wrong for Schmeichel, who's already moving in the opposite direction, and it ends up in the bottom corner. Very, very well taken goal from Smith Rowe.
That's a very yes, his third goal of this season in the league. As Leicester again, they're not going. You mentioned about 20 minutes ago that it's not time for go to long ball football, and even as the fourth official is about to put up that ball, they're still not going for it. It's getting desperate now. So slowly build on this left hand side. Luke Thomas slips at the pressure from Pepe, and Arsenal will clear as it's 5 minutes of additional time. I don't see it's been a problem for Arsenal with 5 minutes to go.
I don't see it being a problem. I also don't see where the 5 minutes came from, if I'm being perfectly honest. Yes, there's been plenty of changes being made. In fact, all 6 changes made over the course of the two sides. We haven't had any other goals, haven't had any VAR decisions.
No, we've had Gabriel had a bit of a knock, and Ben White had a bit of an injury as well. But other than that, that's probably where the time's come from. Leicester fan, you'd be very thankful of those 5 minutes. Arsenal fans would be like Will just said there, well, I don't really know where they've come from, but it's not a panicky 5 minutes, because it's not that Arsenal aren't under siege. It's not like that's not 5 minutes that we don't need. It's 5 minutes of I don't see this being a problem.
Yeah, no, it's going to be quite simple, I think, for Arsenal. I mean, unless Leicester somehow get a goal in the next minute, I don't think there's going to be too many concerns from Arsenal's defensive point of view. And they still have around 4.5 minutes to go to possibly even get a third.
Yeah, it just seems so slow from Leicester. They're chasing the ball, chasing the game here, and Samari, he was walking through that centre circle with the ball, not going at some speed. And Aubameyang's just come and picked his pocket. There just seem to be 1 or 2 gears behind Arsenal in their pressing. We saw in the first half as Pepe gets away with Soyuncu. Referee plays advantage of that foul. We've got just over 3 minutes left in this added time, and Arsenal just playing keep ball now. Yes,
it's very composed play here by the Gunners, holding on to possession in tight areas. It's going to get brought back, though, for a foul by Aubameyang on Ademola Lookman. So maybe Leicester will be able to pump the ball long in order to get Leicester at least a goal on the board. But with 3 minutes to go, you can't see anything else happening in this one.
Yeah, Schmeichel, look at him. He's really Leicester, they're not sprinting forward. It seems weird. Johnny Evans, a man that you want in the box, a big, tall man, he's walking forward. Like, Schmeichel's trying to get the team going. I'm confused as to why Leicester aren't running around like headless chickens trying to get something from this game. They've been very casual, relaxed. It's perplexing.
It is. It's just there's just not been enough intensity or urgency from this Foxes side. Brendan Rodgers cannot be happy with what he's seen. I'm sure he's going to have like a scathing talk with his side. And Leicester, like I've mentioned earlier, they've been second best throughout. In fact, they're going backwards. They're not even looking to go forward at the moment. They're trying to take their time with it. Plenty of fans beginning to leave the stadium with the King Power, and I'm sure they're not going to be happy with what they've seen either.
You know what you can say with they're going sideways and whatnot and backwards all the way back to Schmeichel. It's just Arsenal must be set up so perfectly for this that even if they can say, yeah, but there wasn't a man on, you've got to throw caution to the wind with 2 minutes to go rather than play it all the way back to Schmeichel. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Like you say, Leicester fans, they all are. They're leaving. There is a few. You can see the blue seats starting to come through the crowd as Ramsdale takes a couple of bounces and kicks it forward. Now with 90 seconds to go, this result is nailed on for an Arsenal 2-0. Get the 2 early goals and then just watch the other team just not capitulate, but just have them always at arm's length. Yet they're very happy for Leicester to have the ball. They're always going sideways and backwards, and when they did get to the edge of the penalty area, they weren't able to find that little bit of magic, the little twist, that little piece of space to force something to happen. As Barnes gets it, receives it from Vardy on the left-hand side, as Ben White just sort of ushers him towards the corner flag, but Barnes is able to get it to Thomas, who puts a cross in, but it dribbles all the way through to Ramsdale, and he will lie on his front and waste these last 45 seconds.
Yes, and plenty of Arsenal fans we're getting pictures of now, incredibly happy with what they've seen from their side today. They're in full voice celebrating. I'm not sure not one of them would have gone home before this final whistle. We've got around 30 seconds remaining here as Ramsdale lifts it high up the field, and Arsenal, well, they're really cruising to victory now.
Yes, it's a throw-in for Arsenal on the right-hand side. Everybody's just going through the motions. The referee Michael Oliver might as well call it now with 15 seconds to go, with Japanese international summer signing Tomiyasu throws the ball towards Aubameyang and it's headed out, and yeah, we're just slowly building our way up to the Leicester's right wing and waiting for the referee Michael Oliver to blow for half-time. And there it is, half-time here at the in the Premier League lunchtime kickoff at the King Power Stadium. It's finished Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match?